Hey guys, it's Paul.
And Jestina Keys from Team Ashen.
And it is Netflix.
And No Chill.
Show about Netflix for people with no chill. So, today is episode 2 of Stranger Things. Because again, the whole reason for this series was to get to Stranger Things. It's what we wanted to do.
The important part.
Yeah. So, Stranger Things opens up. This episode is it's actually kind of split evenly. It's an Elle origin story, because basically we're figuring out what happened to Elle
between the end of season 1 and now.
Because the big bombshell after the first episode is Elle's alive. We always knew kind of Elle was alive, because Hopper was feeding her Eggos at the end of the end of the series. But we got the confirmation that she's alive
and what she's been up to.
And she was kind of off in the wilderness and poor squirrels. She was off killing squirrels, and it was the funniest thing because it's like she just took a squirrel and it was just like, oh, this cute little squirrel, and wham, just dead.
No, when she's cooking it and the guy comes and she takes the flaming squirrel and she just chucks it at him and then steals his jacket. What a badass.
It was so good. But then and then we also get the story with everybody else, and I love how this series is going so far, because we actually get a lot of character development from Will, and we didn't before, because Will was literally the damsel in distress in season 1. Like he had maybe 20 minutes of screen time for the entire series, but this one you're starting to get much more backstory on Will and how really messed up he is after all the terrible things that happened to him in season 1. And we find out how good an actor he really is, because this was a great episode for him.
Holy crap. I mean, like, season 1, he had about as many lines as Aurora does in Sleeping Beauty, which, if you didn't know, the title character of the movie, she has 11 lines. But,
Really?
11 lines. So, my friends and I had this theory that they cast him as Will because he was, like, the least talented of the kids, and I take it back. I take all of it back.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that doesn't happen.
This poor kid.
From an 80s nostalgia standpoint, I really appreciated that they took a little bit more of a back seat this time. As I said in the first episode, it was just it was aggressively 80s. Like, everything was just like, hey, by the way, 80s. And then it was just like, oh, look at the scene, by the way, 80s. They kind of dialed that back to a reasonable level. I mean, obviously we love Ghostbusters, and I loved how, shout out to Ross and Charm City Ghostbusters. Yeah, he's gonna flip out about that, but yeah. Anyway, I loved the Ghostbusters tie-in, and I loved
so cute
and the absolute dread. And I've had this happen. The absolute dread of coming to school dressed up as something and not getting the memo that you're the only one.
Now, I have always loved Halloween. It has been my favorite holiday since I knew what it was. So if I was the only kid at school on Halloween dressed in a costume, I would own it. So, like, I don't relate to that.
I do. Okay, short story. When I was in kindergarten, we were allowed to wear whatever we want. I didn't get the memo on day 1 that we had uniforms in first grade. So I pop on the bus in my mesh Gremlins t-shirt and shorts, and everybody else was dressed in a blue polo and khakis, and I'm terrified. And that's kind of how I felt. I felt Dustin's pain, and I felt the kids' pain. Yes, it's Halloween, but still, you were just sticking out.
Well, I've had that type of experience where it was like during Spirit Week or whatever, you have in school, and this is like middle school, so again, around the age where everything's awkward, and it was like mismatch day. So I came in looking mismatched, all messed up, and it turns out that they had changed the theme for that day, and I just didn't get the memo. So it was actually just everybody wear all blue day, and I was not wearing blue at all, and looked like the kid from Lazy Town. Stephanie or whatever, the pink one. I don't even like pink, so there's that.
So we get more on the company or the group's interaction with Max. Max becomes a little bit more of a figure in this character, and she's definitely becoming one of my favorite characters of the series.
So funny.
Mad Max is awesome. But then it's Halloween, and everybody goes trick or treating, and bad things happen. Because again, Will is still getting these flashbacks, and I love the way that I'm the old guy in this group. So I had a Viewmaster when I was a kid. So I got the whole concept of the Viewmaster being stuck in between slides, and that's kind of how Will is right now. He's stuck in between worlds, and he's experiencing both the real world and the upside down, and it is just terrifying to him.
I've played with a Viewmaster.
I'm talking like OG Viewmasters. You might have gotten like one of the updated ones. I'm talking like the first one.
Okay, so my parents had one from 88.
Oh, okay. So you might have gotten like, yeah.
Yeah, I just remember playing with them as a kid.
Okay, so it was your parents. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's a terrifying realization. Am I as old as your parents?
Okay. No, my parents are 50.
Oh thank god. I was like, oh god, no.
No, my parents are 50.
For those who don't realize,
I'm a baby.
Yeah, Justina's significantly younger than me, and it bothers
I'm
me
legal,
at times.
but I'm a baby.
But yeah, so then every trick-or-treating goes away, and Dustin is coming home, and there's a rustling in the garbage can, and then the episode ends. So we don't know what's going to happen until the next episode. But oh my god, Stranger Things is back, and I love how this is going, and it's just an amazing series. It's one of those things where you kind of worry about when the first season is so good that the second season is inevitably going to let you down, and so far it is not.
So far, I think it really holds a candle to season 1.
I think so too. But that's it pretty much. We will be back next week for episode 3, and then after episode 3, the week following we'll have episode 4 of Stranger Things, but also we'll be starting Punisher. So Punisher and Stranger Things. It's a beautiful world. We have horror, and then we have Punisher. But that's it, guys.
So basically, The Walking Dead.
Oh man, no, we're not going to get into The Walking Dead.
No, because it's
The Walking Dead was amazing.
Just because it's Shane.
Yeah, The Walking Dead was amazing, but yeah, that's for a different series.
That's my favorite. How to Stop.
But guys, thanks again for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to watch this videos. All 5 of you. I don't know how many of you are, but there's really not a lot of you. But I don't care. We love you guys. We love your like 5 people.
I wore a Stranger Things shirt. I don't know if you could read it. It says she's our friend and she's crazy.
Yeah.
Because I'm a fan of the show. If you didn't know.
But that's it, guys, and we will see you next week.
Bye.